G Show, Peter G Show, Peter G Show. Divorced dad, single dad, divorced dad, single dad. Peter G Show.
Ooh. Sunday, another week gone by. Live, Sunday Night Live, Peter G Show. I'm gonna play this for a second just so I can get in the groove. Let me tell you something. The moment I got off the plane a week and a half ago or wherever it was from the Gulf Coast into LA, I stepped into a shitstorm of personal stuff. And just to say that, you know, everybody's got stuff going on. Well, yours truly. I mean, if it's not one thing, it's another. We all have things going on. And, you know, things kind of like I was anticipating some things going on that were happening. And luckily when I got here, it was a little bit better than what I expected. But slowly but surely, you know, starting to get pummeled. Just life. I want to talk about it, I really do, but I just don't want to talk about it right now. I mean, it's just stuff that I'll tell you. One day there's going to be a story to tell, and I'll tell you all about it. Tonight I'm hoping I could really, really rely on you guys. Somebody step up to the plate and talk to me. Help us out. Talk to us. Nobody's listening anyway. What is on your mind? What is bothering you? What you want to talk about? Even if you just want to say hey. But I honestly, even just today alone, yesterday and today, it's just, you know, it takes a lot to suck the life out of me. I mean, the energy out of me. But I can honestly say that these past 2 days have just been, you know, weird. And again, I know it's like, well, don't talk about it unless you're going to talk about it. And I normally do talk about just about everything. But like I said, it's a story that I'll tell one day, and right now it's just taking my head spins. That's why I'm hoping I can rely on you, the people, to call little old me, and we'll talk about some stuff. First things first, as always, if anybody, you know, now that we're warming up, watch party, so important. Everybody, start a watch party. You go to, if you're watching, I appreciate it in the first place. But if you are watching, because I appreciate it, there must be a reason why you're watching. You really just need to hit the share button, wherever that may be. And I'm going to do it myself, too. I can't help it. And when you go to the share button, and it says, hey, Peter G's, you're watching Peter G. Make sure I got the volume off here. And you hit the share button, and then when you hit the share button, it should tell you, hey, there should be a category, and it says, yep, I see it right there. It's at the very bottom. It says, like, share to a page, share to friends, share to this, share to that. But it says start a watch party. So you hit that start a watch party button, and then all of a sudden another window opens up, and it says, you know, now you really, really want to start a watch party? And the answer is yes. You really, really, really want to start a watch party, all right? So help a brother out. Let's do this. I'm doing it right now. Every little bit helps. Again, this show is totally, completely built on you guys. I chose this platform, and when everybody told me I was crazy, it's not the way to go. And I said, you're wrong. I said, I'm going to believe in the people, in the strength of the people, and the people will watch one by one, and they will share. And they will start these so-called watch parties because it'll say, hey, so-and-so's watching Peter G Show. And they go, why is he watching that guy? It's like, good question. Well, one of the reasons you're watching this guy is because this guy is sponsored by my beloved Bolt Energy. Bolt Energy, people, love them. No preservatives. It's enriched with vitamins and antioxidants. It tastes good. You don't have to drink a whole bunch of it, okay? These guys are workout fanatics. They care about it. And you know, when you try to say, hey, this is a cleaner energy drink, that's kind of hard to understand, but it's a cleaner energy drink. These guys didn't want to, you know, make something that was just as crappy as some of the other ones to give you the get up and go, but they did it. And it tastes good. You don't have to drink a ton of it. And again, no preservatives. That alone will tell you, I mean, it's just something that's a little more natural. They don't have it all stuffed up with a shelf life of, you know, good until 40-40. and the dinosaurs will find it, But these, no. You have to make it and sell it because there's no preservatives. But if it's good, it goes, and it does. So I like it. Bolt Energy, electrify your senses. I'm going to pop open a can right now like I always do. I know, keep it away. I've been waiting for this. This might just... Excuse me while I take a sip. Ask for it in stores. If you can't find it in your stores, go to www.drinkboltenergy.com, and they'll tell you where you can find it. And if you can't find it, you write to them. They'll even ship it to you, okay? We're growing. Little by little, this stuff is making its way across the country. It's not easy, though. Another tough, build. Build it, and they will come. Oh, yeah. Oh, this one was in the freezer. I like it. Anyway, I'm hoping tonight, like I said, I'm going to rely on you guys. I need you guys tonight. I'm just, I got things to talk about. I mean, I can get my motor started, but my motor has been going all week long. In fact, I did 2 special edition shows this week on my, I'm sure you've seen it, me ranting with AT&T. And that was enough to make me crazy, and that was just more work and more time, and it's like, just wasted energy. I feel like I'm banging my head up against a wall with these people because they're so big, and the people that are talking to me, they're nothing but puppets, and they really don't, really have a say. They just do what they're supposed to do, kind of. And a lot of them, I felt their intentions were really good, but we'll find out what really goes on here soon. But for those of you who didn't catch it, I've had some problems with AT&T on a cell phone that I got back in April, and it's just ongoing. Hey, man, and they screwed up. They admit they screwed up, but they can't fix the problem, or I don't know why they won't. They want to fix the problem. They're telling me they're fixing the problem. They told me I owed them money, and for something that I got in return to them, but I returned it to them. If you haven't checked it out, the reason I did it for you guys, because you guys have to fight the same fight that I was fighting. And literally, the last phone call I made on Thursday, it's taken me 8 phone calls over the past 2.5, 3 months, and hours on the phone. And finally, by the 5th phone call, I said, you know what? This is ridiculous. I'm going to do a special show, and I'm going to put them live on the air, tell them I'm recording them live, and I'm going to put them on the air so you people can hear the agonizing, drawn-out saga that you have to go through, just like I go through. I mean, they don't know who the hell I am, and all I'm trying to do is solve a problem and getting pushed from one person to another person. Meanwhile, all of you who've been watching are screaming like at the TV like you're watching a football game. Go to a manager, go above his head, blah, blah, blah. The first 5 phone calls, I've done so much stuff. So I just decided the last few phone calls, or at least I hope it's the last few phone calls that I'm doing, I was hoping I would just let the ball roll in their court and let you hear on the run around the crap you got to go through just to try to clear your name. God forbid I had a serious hard problem. That would have been really... I just don't understand it. So I ended up recording phone call number 6, 7, and 8. I did 2 last week. On Monday and on Thursday, I had to call AT&T, follow up on Thursday. And I just let them record the show, and we played the whole show. The last phone call on Thursday was an hour and 48 minutes of me on the phone trying to resolve the issue, which was, should have been resolved months ago. Meanwhile, they've turned me into collections. The reason I'm telling you this is because you watch it, it's an hour and 48 minutes of your life. What if you had a job, which most of you do? How do you get on the phone and waste so much time? And that didn't even resolve the issue. I'm having to call again. I had to call prior before that. So it's like, how the hell do you resolve that? How do you work a job? Your lunch break is 30 minutes. Some people don't even take lunch because that's the way life is. If you're lucky, you had an hour lunch break. Well, I was on the phone for an hour and 48 minutes. Then I'd have to say, well, I got to go because I got to go back to work or something like that. And then it's bad enough when I'm on the line, you get set back to 0 as it is. But the bottom line was Thursday's phone call to AT&T connected me for an hour and 48 minutes. In fact, I had to call them back. Halfway through half of the I spoke to 8 service representatives. 8, We went from El Salvador to Minnesota to Orlando to Arkansas. I mean, all over the map. Excuse me. Getting all choked up. All over the map. And then halfway through, I was on like customer service representative number 4. And she says, hold on while I switch you to somebody else because she couldn't do it. And then she, is telling them what's going on. And all of a sudden, click, she lost me. So what did I have to do? I had to call up again. And then you get whoever the hell you get, wherever you get. Fortunately, because I would have gone apeshit, nothing personal, but fortunately, I didn't get, transferred over to India or the Philippines. That shit drives me nuts. I actually, when I was in El Salvador, speaking to Carlos in El Salvador, I can remember the names. It's that sad. He spoke perfect English. It was great. And the call was crystal clear. I've had harder times talking with people in the States. But it drives me nuts. And the reason I've done it and the reason I'm doing it and people telling me what to do, and I appreciate all of you guys. But you see how painful it is? It's got you yelling at the TV. It's got you yelling to me, telling me what to tell all these people for AT&T to try to get the damn thing done. I'm telling you, I've been there, done that, and hour and 48 minutes on the latest phone call. Now, supposedly, I now have to wait until the 14th of next month to see my invoice, and supposedly it's all going to be clear. But see, this is what's been going on. Yeah, I know. Thank you. I know. But here's what's going on. Every time I fell for that, look, we took care of it. Just wait for the next bill, and you'll see you'll be at zero. There goes another 3 weeks to a month. And then I'm further down the line, and I'm turned into collections. That's how it started, the whole fucking thing. Oops, I'm starting to use harsh language. I'm sorry. Boy, it just drives me nuts. But then I take a sip of Bolt Energy. Keeps me going. No preservatives. Tastes great. And I'm good. Hang on. Lots of big things coming down the pipe. But right now, again, I'm just like you guys. Every day is get up and start running uphill. It's like dodgeball for me lately. There's just a lot of life getting in the way. I mean, I wish I could tell you that everything was so simple, but I know it's happening for you guys too. That's why tonight, I'm hoping some of you, I don't need that many, pick up the phone. I want you to dial 818-259-7983 and call little old Peter. Talk to me. I got some great people that follow this show, and they're just silent majority. They're lurkers, so to speak. You'll watch, you'll listen, you'll be entertained, but there's things you want to talk about. And I've had y'all write to me all the time. Hey, Peter, dig your show, but I just can't call in. I'm too shy. But yet, you're on Facebook spilling your guts about stuff, prayers for so-and-so, going through surgery. I hate, it's so sad. It kills me when I see who's passed away and mamas and dads. And, tomorrow's my father's birthday. Almost made it to 93. I mean, what are you going to do? Next year I'll be saying he would have been 94, and then you're saying he would have been 100. My mother's been gone almost 3 years this October, and you just keep track, because that's what love is all about. But, that's what we do. So you're out there on Facebook posting your life away. You can call up on this. Nobody even knows who the heck you are. You're just Joe or Jeannie, Amanda, whatever. But I would like to hear from you, male or female. You want to talk about relationship stuff, your life, single parenting, divorce? Great, I'm all in. That's my favorite category because I feel like people need a lot of help in that department. But you want to talk about, you just can't seem to get the right job, or you hate that summer's gone? I don't care. This is called Life with Peter G, and you can talk about anything. You grab an adult beverage. I tell everybody, grab a glass of wine. It's late night Sunday night. Let's wind down. Wind, not wine, although we can. Let's wind down together, all right? This is what I do. I look forward to this. Got a lot of great people, male, female. Got a lot of hot-looking. We do. I got to tell you, I commend my female portion of the Peter G fans. I mean, you're obviously well kept. Got a lot of beautiful women that actually follow, and I appreciate that. Makes me happy. I like everybody. Love everybody. Couldn't do it without you. But tonight, I just said to myself, I got a couple of things here, that we wrote and jotted down. I said I'll talk about, but I want to hear from somebody I haven't talked to. Just call and say, hey. That's it, because the AT&T thing, I'm going to give it a break a little bit now, but if Oh, you do you? Yeah. Well, happy birthday to you. Somebody said we share the same birthday. My father's. Yeah. Are you 92? I doubt it. He would have been 93. And I'll tell you, he was doing pretty good for 93. But the old fuel pump just, just like a car. If you can't, if it doesn't pump, car don't go. So I was grateful for the time I had, and most people are. Again, no regrets. Very proud and very thankful. And that's that. But I would like to hear from you. See, it's like even like these little things. You're sitting there typing, texting to me. Sometimes I can see you text. Sometimes I can't because it depends how fast it's moving. I have multiple pages going on at one time, so it may not seem like anything's going on your end. But, hey, I'm telling you, please, please, please hit the damn share button. If you care about this show and want to see bigger and better things go on, hit the share button and then look down. It says start a watch party. Even when it's going into reruns, you can start a watch party anytime. And I have to keep saying this stuff because a lot of people don't really understand it. It took me a while to understand it. But when I saw the value in it, it's pretty good. Because you may have people that need more about what we're going to talk about than you do. And you don't even know it. So you're helping people because somebody's story is going to hit somebody else right in the heart and give them some way to say, hey, wow, it's not just me. Or I can relate. Speaking of school, well, I am. Kids are now in school, should be starting to get a groove. I did a little spew on, don't drag your kids out of bed last minute. Make sure they get to bed on time. Biggest deal is, when school starts, they don't screw around anymore. They start with the homework within the first few days. I remember I had somebody that was close to doing this stuff, and he's like, the first few days don't matter, and the last few days don't matter, and it's like bullshit. They have so much time now. It's not like the old days where they're on a curriculum that they're spitting it out, and they got so much time to do what they do. So your kids need to be in school when school starts, and that's that. There's no warm up time. That was what the summer was for. So hopefully you got your kids in. They're starting to get a groove. They're starting to get tired now because, they can't stay up late and starting to catch up with them. So they'll go to bed at a decent hour. And I hope you're getting that because that's really, really important if you want to see them do any good. And that's important. Believe me, my parents, about kicked my ass because I sucked in school. I just knew what I wanted to do. I always wanted to be a musician, and that's what I did. But you still need to do good. You still need to push them to be, no matter what, you have to. And again, it's all about punctuality, not being late, learning these things because it's a lesson in life. You don't want to be the person who's always late for something. It doesn't work after a while. It just doesn't, simple little things like that. Being polite, understanding, manners. I don't know. It mattered to me. Still matters to me, and I push that stuff. I'm like a broken record with my daughter, and the cool thing is she's like, Dad, yes. Because she's got it down, but I just do it out of habit. I can't help it because repetitive, you just keep on doing it. It's like, how do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice. Old joke, but it's the truth. You want to do anything. I just saw a really good documentary on the Pensacola Naval Air Station Blue Angels last night. They did. I just happened to be scanning through Amazon Prime. It was a really good documentary. It was about the team and how they do what they do, and the mechanics, technicians, how it takes everybody to do all this stuff. And this was their first tour. They took their show to Russia for the first time, and. But it was all about, what they do. I still get goosebumps, and I've seen these guys 1,000,003 times. But even the 1,000,004th, when they're buzzing the coast on Pensacola Beach, when they come home on Sunday nights, your hair stands up on your arm. They buzz the beach in that delta formation, and they just come straight across the beach, and then you see your Facebook lighting up with people taking pictures, and the biggest thing, I love the phrase, and it's like they're going by, and they got the smoke on, and they're just going down the coast, and it just says, "This never gets old." And it's the truth. It doesn't, because they're that good. They are the rock stars of the aviation world. Everything is just pristine, and it just is what it is. And those guys don't make any more money for doing what they do, and it's a very dangerous gig. I mean, it's not as dangerous as war, but the thing is, what they do is out of the ordinary. It's not what you would do during, war or dogfights or missions and things like that. They're demonstrating how friggin' good, that the American aviation is in our military forces, and it's pretty amazing. So again, I'll never tire from that, and I'll always love and respect it. In fact, in Pensacola, where I live as well, when they're rehearsing, they practice a couple of days out of the week. When they're in Pensacola, 3 days out of the week, they fly over the house. You can hear those motors. They are very distinctive. It's like the difference between a regular car and a hot rod. And I'm a very finely tuned hot rod. And I'll be in bed, because they're like 10 o'clock in the morning or whatever. And some days, I'm sleeping in. I'm up late. And you hear those things, and you know what? I don't mind it one bit. It's the most beautiful sound in the world, because it's the sound of freedom. 818-259-7983. I'm telling you, tonight I need you guys. I need somebody to step up to the plate and give old Peter a call. I want to talk to you. I want you to tell me something, okay? Because I'm telling you, it's been a long, rough week. I got some calls and things lined up. See, I could line up guests and all that. I can do that easily. I can go down the list. Got a ton of people. I can say, hey, I'm going to call you on Sunday night, and we're going to talk. I don't want to do that. This show's for you guys. I don't want you to hear other people. I want to hear you. Something. Whatever's bothering you. Can't get ahead. You hate where you live. You don't make enough money. The dog, isn't housebroken, and you don't know what to do. I don't know. But tonight's one of those nights. I want to hear from people I don't normally talk to. Because, we get our cast of regulars every once in a while. I get Pepsi, and I had a phone call with Pepsi last night. A pretty long one, too. He's in Texas, and Pepsi's been on my show several times. Hasn't been on in a while, but he hasn't been in town. And he's already given me a heads up that possibly in November he'll be poking his head in here. I said, great, I want you on the show. I like when Pepsi comes around. It's usually a debauchery for a few days, whatever I remember of it. But it just always stands to be a good show to bring Pepsi. He's like my Ed McMahon. Little McMahon. But always a hoot. And I like when he comes in personally. Now, he calls on the phone once in a while, but I like when he's right here talking to me. So that way you can get a gander and we see what's going on. But so anyway, he called me, and that was kind of cool. But really, at the end of the day, it's you I want to talk to. Otherwise, we can listen to chill music. I like the chill music in the background. It's growing on me. Unless we're having some serious conversation, I just kind of like it right there. Just right there. And again, I'm not the chill music kind of guy, but, I can't see playing death metal or something during this. That'll make me all screwy and wound up, and, even hard rock or anything. I just don't want it. And I don't want smooth jazz. It's too smooth. This is kind of like R&B, just pumps, I don't even mind playing this musically, because it's got feel. But anyway, 818-259-7983. Call in for old Peter. I know it's late night Sunday night, but those of you who want to watch, do watch. I know you do. And don't forget, I rerun this stuff now during the week just for you guys, because I know a lot of you guys just, some people say, Peter, I love it, but I can't hang. I got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning or this and that. I get it, and one day I'll go to a different time slot, but not yet. The first year we're going to do it right now this way, and that's what we're going to do. Yep. So this is what I do, and this is how I'm going to do it. In fact, I was thinking about it. I was having a conversation with somebody, and they were saying, you really should do this, and you really should do that, and, because people, want to do this and do that. And I said, whoa, back it up. So number one, I said, I get it. I said, but whatever I do, now, I have way bigger ideas for, things as the show grows and gets bigger, but the bottom line is what you see is what you get. This is who I am. Don't expect me to start being like somebody else or start doing it because it's really popular that way. And, I'm not going to do it. I will not do it. I don't care how much money you're paying me. It's like, you either like what I do. Now, I'm open to suggestions. I mean, if I feel it, I'm going, wow, I didn't think of that. That's awesome. But if we're doing something just because it's trending, it's just like the music business. It's exactly like the crap I had to put up with when I was in the music business. You get these A&R guys, or you get some managers, or you get somebody who comes up with an idea and says, we need to be, you need to be writing more like them because that's really what's happening. It's like, and you get sucked into it, and then you start being them. And it's like, you the whole reason somebody likes you is because you're being you. It used to be called, back in the day, original music. This is an original we want to play. If you were a cover band, every once in a while you throw in a few originals. And you know what? I've always played in bands that were writing music. I didn't, I was not ever, well, I take that back. When I was real, real young, I was playing in total cover bands. But even if I had to play in cover bands, we still always wrote. And people wanted to hear those songs. If you played them, they started getting used to you, and that's who you become. And it's called original. There's a reason for that. Original. Well, original. Good or bad? Good or bad? It's like, hey, your music sucks, or friggin' awesome. That's like, that. I love the sound. Well, here I am. You either love the sound or you don't. And you can call up and tell me either way at 818-259-7983. We're going to have one of those nights because I need you tonight. I thought about it, and I said, this has been a friggin' rough week. Nobody would understand. I mean, you would understand, actually, if I told you, but I'm not going to tell you right now. I need to let things come into play. Some things need to be left alone for a while, but all I can tell you is that, even me here, smiles, this and that, it takes a lot. It takes a lot for a lot of people. That's why people break down. That's why people can't take it anymore, It's like, I've had enough. I totally friggin' get it. I can't afford to say I quit. It just doesn't work for me. I don't like quitting. Quitting has always been like a pet peeve of mine because it's just too easy. Something's not working out, I quit. And sometimes it's really been bad for me too because I drive something into the ground when perhaps I should have let it go. I was going to say like my marriage, but that's not true. I mean, sometimes it was. I kept trying to hold on to it, but she kept saying, finally, where did we end up? We ended up, divorced anyway. Maybe I could have cut to the chase and saved myself, but who knows? Again, hindsight is 20/20. I don't have a crystal ball. That shit broke a long time ago. I'm not a mind reader. If I was a mind reader, I'd probably still either be or not be married, a lot sooner or later, whatever. But I am kind of fortunate, though, that I can talk to people and really kind of feel out what they're doing. And sometimes, a lot of times, just by talking to people, they answer their own questions. And I just point it out. I'm no professional. I don't have degrees. I'm just a guy. But I'm a guy that experience. I guess that's what you can say. You know what I mean? If you're just like being a musician, I've been a musician long enough that I'm pretty decent at it. So you kind of know your trade. And I don't know. Maybe it's just in my genes or whatever. But I feel I have, and that's self-proclaiming. You can tell me I'm nuts, Peter, shit, whatever, but I feel that I'm fortunate enough that when I'm talking to certain people, I can see into things a lot. It's a lot different when you're listening to somebody than when they're just talking and you're not hearing yourself. So all I do is I just kind of point it out, point them in the right direction, or, share it. And a lot of times when they hear their own self on the show, they kind of hear things differently, and I always point that out too. It is what it is. Believe me, it's not about the money. It's definitely not about the money. It's certainly definitely not about the money. But tonight, and every Sunday night, I really need to start making a point with this. Otherwise, I will start having guests on the show. And because, I got the craziest crowd. You guys, what's it take to get you to dial that number, 818-259-7983? It's not that hard. It really isn't. It really isn't. I get more texts and emails and all that shit during the week, and people are just like, checking out your show. Wow, like your show. They're liking. I appreciate that. I want you to call. I got a phone number for a reason, so I could talk to you. Tell me where you're at, what you're doing, what's your problem, or what you think your problem is. Sometimes it's just nonsense, but, you're cracking out. You're an alcoholic. and you really want to stop, but you can't stop, or, you got kids that are depending on you. That's the big deal for me. That's what really did it for me. I had a daughter that I knew that I had to go, fight for, and after I finally fought the fight, the last thing in the world I was going to do was mess that up. But so many people do. You just can't help it. It just happens. And that wasn't going to happen with me. And, I sacrificed almost everything just to make sure that I would be a good father to this little girl. And so far, so good. But, at the same time, she's watching me struggle. She watches the struggle that I'm doing. Peter has to be and go do something that nobody does, daddy's little show. And she supports me, but she doesn't, because she doesn't get it. Number one, it's not for her. But number one, it's, it just doesn't make sense to her. And it's like, it's not of the norm. And what are the odds and this and that? Well, I've always been that risk taker. I mean, when you want to be a musician, that alone means, you're not the most normalist person. Because that's dreaming big. And, you want to be on that stage. You want to be doing the concerts. You want to do that. And there used to be this saying, 1 in a million. Well, there's a reason why they said 1 in a million, too. Also. Because it is 1 in a million. But that does not stop me. I refuse. I know that here's the kicker. Besides the fact that it's 818-259-7983. Surprise me, somebody, and make a phone call. Here's the deal. There's a lot of channels now. We have a million gazillion channels on these TVs, streaming networks. There's new ones popping up every day, and they don't have enough content to fill stuff. I mean, and this is even from 10, 15 years ago already. You'd watch the A&E channel, and, let's Duck Dynasty, let's just say. Because, I mean, either you love them or you hate those guys, but, But the thing was, it's like, if you watched it, as big as those guys were, they didn't have much to follow with it, like the A&E channel. So if you watched 3 hours of A&E channel, you'd end up seeing a repeat of what you watched before. And, let me see something real quick. Okay. So that's the problem. It's like, shit, I'm watching reruns, and it's A&E, and that's like one of the bigger networks, God forbid you go into some of these other ones, and they got nothing on them. So I'm figuring, we probably could find a spot for me, and we probably could make it entertaining. Bigger, better, guests, reality, studio, on the spot, on the go. I got all that. We just have to get somebody to finally go, okay, this guy's not going away. You better just take him. Take him before somebody else does. That'd be me. Because one day, somebody will finally say yes, and we will not be doing it this way. But my point being is that even Facebook has a platform worthy of doing things that people will sit and tune into. You're doing it right now, and I appreciate it. And if you are doing it right now, you should start a watch party. You hit the share button, says start a watch party, and then hit the start a watch party button, and then it'll say, hey, so-and-so is watching. And now I appreciate that. You're doing it not only for me, you're doing it for you, because you believe, or you wouldn't be sitting here watching it. I'm sure there's a million things you could be doing. But what I really, really would today, pardon me, 818-259-7983. Otherwise, we'll just turn up the music. Tonight was one of those nights I said, I want to hear from somebody different tonight. And I know you're all out there, but nobody will pick up. They're just sitting there with your wine in your hand and your tablet or whatever the heck you're watching it on, and you're just watching. You go, look at this guy. He's squirming. I'm not really squirming. I'm just tired. It's been a long week, and today and yesterday just sucked the damn. It was quite different. Hey, look at that. We got silence. Silence! I don't know why. Here it comes. More chill music. 818-259-7983. Peter G Show, Life with Peter G. I can do this every week. I can come up with even more things, but sometimes there's days and weeks like this one where I said, I'm just going to let the cards fall where they may. And that's what I'll do. And that's what I was doing tonight, because even this guy needs a break once in a while. Yeah, thank you. But it is what it is. And we can just sit here. I thought about a couple of things, but I'll just wait. Did I tell you how much I like Bolt Energy? I gotta take another sip because I'm talking. Bolt Energy, no preservatives, electrify your senses. It's good stuff, tastes good. They sponsor me and I'm proud of it. They're all over the place promoting. It's not easy to do something like this, too. This, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, is no easy task. You go into a convenience store, look at the refrigerated wall. There's a gazillion energy drinks. It's like, so here, let's just add another one that you don't know what to pick. I mean, let's face it. There are a few of those leaders. You know, you got some of those big ones that have been around for many, many years. A lot of people drink them just because. You know, some of them even taste like shit. They really do. Actually, a lot of them do. So what's going to be so special about this new guy on the block? No preservatives. That's a number one to me. It means that, you know, whatever they got in it, you know, it's got a shelf life and it's more natural. It's enriched with vitamins and antioxidants. Hey, nothing wrong with that. It tastes good and you don't need a whole bunch of it. So it just gives you just enough to kick your ass. And again, these guys are workout fanatics. I dream of the day one day. I don't want to be as built and bulked up as they are because they're pretty, you know, they take it pretty seriously. I just want to get back to me old self again. Right now it's just been too much of a struggle. I want to be on a routine where I can at least hit the gym 3-4 days a week and get to the point where I'm, you know, feeling really good again and it's not killing me because I'm too sporadic right now. But Bolt Energy. Just pop a can and, you know, get you going and go do what you got to do and then be on your merry way. And as I said, I talked to some of California's law enforcement by accident because I know a musician who happens to be on one of the, you know, what do you call that, agencies, so to speak. And he told me not to really mention their name, but, you know, here in California. But, I mean, let's just say they cruise the highways. And he says all his buddies that he works with, they drink Bolt Energy. It's because I live in you know, the LA area, and he says it's in gas stations all over the place. And he says, yeah, we like it. And he says, whatever's in it, whatever you're doing, he looked at me and he says, whatever they're doing, keep doing it. I said, okay, I'll let them know. So that was kind of a kicker when we talked a few months ago. Because, you know, the last thing you need to do is get all wired up and all jittery, and not with this stuff. It just, and that's the key. The key is you drink it. You're not supposed to get a buzz or anything like that. But you drink it, and it just gives you the extra smooth feeling of let's go. Let's go, Peter. Let's go, Bolt Energy. Ask for it in stores. If you can't find it, www.drinkboltenergy.com. They will tell you where you can find it, and if not, they'll even ship it to you. I'm pretty sure that's what we talked about because, you know, they're just trying to make their point, and it's worth it. And now we're going to sit here, 818-259-7983. It's a tough one, huh? Nobody's got any, you know, and usually I'll prep and I'll start talking to people and going, you're going to be there tonight, right? You know, because some people want to get things. Last week, I had a revisit from Perdido, Alabama. Melanie called back after, you know, she called a couple of months ago, and she just kind of chimed in, and I had a few minutes with her, and we had another little tasty round of Southern Fried Sunday. And that's what we did. And she called in. She's a hoot. She always likes getting primed before she calls in one way or another. The first time she called, she had a few adult beverages in her before she called. And this time she took it the opposite direction, and she went medicinally. But she said she had the card. So whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. And again, you know, I never know who's going to call. A lot of times I'll just answer. A lot of times, sometimes I'll say, all right, listen, I know you're going to be calling, so I'm going to make sure I get you on the air. Because for an hour show, you don't need a whole lot. I'm not just blowing through them, you know. But if you want to call, you know, a lot of times if the phone rings, I'll just pick it up. We don't have phone screeners. I'll just pick it up, and you tell me whatever you want to talk about. You'll tell me whatever you want to say at 818-259-7983. And just whatever's bothering you, except, right? Except. I have to make this a point because I don't want to talk about politics. There's plenty of people doing that. It's all day long, all night long. And I don't want to talk about religion. I know that weeds out a whole lot of you, but I want to talk about stuff in your life. You're just undecisive about something. Just anything that's bothering you, kind of got questions on, let me take a stab at it. I'm actually not that bad. Or, and the people start chiming in too. You got your friends here watching, listening. And sometimes there's answers to your little problems, which might not be little to you, but there's answers, and they're right there. And you just needed to get it out to be able to think about it and hash over it. And to me, if one person comes out of this going, wow, I'm really glad that I did that, I called the show or this and that, I'm happy. Because I'm not saying I'm going to help you. I can help you. I'm not, again, I don't know, but I just feel like if it helps you by, help yourself, I'm in. Because I'm no guarantee to anything. Believe me, I'm more screwed up than all of y'all. But I am lucky enough that that because of the way you unload stuff, that we kind of take a look at it, and a lot of times you end up going, it's right there in front of me. So 818-259-7983, and I'm going to take a sip again in my red cup. Somebody asked me, they go, what's in the cup? It's like Johnny Carson. It's hot in here tonight. What's the matter with you guys? Is it hot or is it me? Tonight I'm drinking watermelon Minute Maid. Tastes like watermelon. I like it. I stumbled upon it, and I said I want some more of that. I want it really cold, and I want it on ice in between my sips of Bolt Energy drink. It's refreshing. We're not sitting around getting loaded. There's plenty of days in the week for that. I'll tell you what, calling AT&T, that was, that kind of crap. If you're not a heavy drinker, by the time you get through putting up with their bullshit and getting the runaround, you will become a heavy drinker, because it wore me out. I did those shows in the afternoon last week. We did them, I don't know, what time did we do them? We did them around 1 o'clock in the afternoon on the Pacific Coast, so it was like 3 o'clock on the East Coast. No, it was 4 o'clock on the East Coast. And I just wanted to catch, the daytime customer service people, but my God, an hour and a half, an hour 40 minutes, 8 customer service reps talking to, just trying to resolve an issue, get a call, get a product, return it because it wasn't what I was going for, and then get credited back. And no, we got to make it a 5-friggin-month project, and my name's on the line. And they clearly admit, yeah, we have the phone back. We should. I don't know why you're not at zero balance. I don't know why either, AT&T. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, 818-259-7983. Somebody, all you have to do, let's make this night, let's finish it with somebody of worth saying, Peter, I want to talk to you. I got something I want to get off my chest, and we'll just talk about it. And if we can't finish it, we'll finish it next week. But tonight's one of those nights where it's just pulling teeth again, huh? Going to be that way. Don't be shy. It's just me and a couple of my closest friends. Couple. Million. Or two. Anyway, if not, I'll just say goodnight and we'll call it a day, because I do truly understand at the same time that a lot of people are just too shy. And tonight's one of those nights where I looked at them, I said, if nobody calls, I'll cut this thing at 30 minutes, which I never do. If anything, we always run over. Because I'm talking to somebody and we end up running over. But I said, not tonight. Tonight I am spent. Even I have to catch a break once in a while, and I have a lot of stuff going on tomorrow personally again, and I'm just wiped. And I'm always looking forward to this too. I love doing this, but I'm looking forward to this because I'm looking forward to you. I never know what I'm going to get from week to week with you guys. Sometimes, I walk in and the shit starts lighting up right away. And then there's nights like tonight where you guys are watching, and you'll probably watch during the week as well, and you'll comment and all that kind of stuff. But, the purpose of this show, I could have done a show that had, one-on-one interviews with people and no phone calls, and then we just edit it and put it on whenever I'm ready and it's pieced together and just do interviews. I didn't want to do that. I wanted live, don't know what I'm going to get from you guys. And that's all I want you to do is I want you to pick up that phone and just say, hey, Peter, calling from bumfuck. Doesn't matter. Calling from the East Coast, West Coast, Midwest. want to say I'm watching, and I got this little problem, or, I just, whatever. But I don't hold it against you when you don't. I would love for you to, but I get it. And we're going to be wrapping it up soon because time is just quickly flying as I've covered more things than I really intended to tonight because tonight I said I'm going to let just things fall where they may, and maybe I'll get lucky enough and be surprised. But, you can't win them all. It's not a big deal. Even at my worst of me not even being totally prepared, because I kind of like the wing it effect to a certain extent. I feel I have enough stuff that happens during the week to carry the show, whether you want to call in or not. It's just life. Hence the word life with Peter G. I'll talk to you about stuff, and half the time I know that you relate to them anyway. But just like this AT&T saga, believe me, cable, Spectrum, Cox Cable, Mediacom, you name it, Verizon, they're all the same. It all sucks. It's all a pain in the ass. Somebody made a comment to me the other day while I was doing the show, and they said all they care about is the new customers. Once you're in, then you're just in. They're hoping they're not going to have a problem with you. If they do have a problem, they'll just flush you around like they did me and are doing to me. I just don't understand it. They're so damn big that they can't even resolve. It's a simple problem, too. But they could not or refuse to. They want to make it a friggin' science project. And that kind of bothers me. And that's why I finally said I'm going to take it to the people. And I'm going to record. And I recorded the last 3 phone calls live, special edition Peter G show. And I did it. So all of you guys can hear the agony of the hour-plus phone calls. When I could have shortened them up. And I could have edited them. I had James from Culver City screaming at me like he's watching football or something. And it's like, don't do that. Edit the shows and then just come out with the meat. And it's like, no, I'm not. You don't see. Again, I see things from a different perspective. Yes, you might lose interest. I'm not sure, and I honestly don't care, because if I strike a nerve and you dig it, you understand. I want you to feel the pain of the agony of having to be on that phone for that long trying to resolve an issue, because it's all about you could have been this person doing it, me. I had to go through it. I want you to see what they're dragging me through, which they normally drag millions of people through, because I've had enough of it. And so I didn't want to shortcut it, because then you won't, you hear the confrontation and stuff like that, but you're not experiencing it. So good or bad, that's my perspective of the whole damn deal. That's the way I see it, okay? It's like, and I told him, I'm thinking to myself, when you get a show, you can do it any way you want to do it. I don't have the facilities we do the show and then there's a room full of editors waiting to take it and, within an hour, chop it up and send it out for the live feed at 5 o'clock. I don't have that. And you know what? Even if I have to rethink it, and even if I did, because my thought process was, it's painful, it's pissing me off, and it's wasting a lot of my time. Now, I'm not asking for you to watch it to waste your time, but I want you, but you have to go, it's like, God, my God, he's on the phone this long, look what the hell is going on. Like I said, most of you have jobs. And if you had a job, how the hell could you stay on the phone that long? Oh, struck a nerve. You asked for it, as always. Good morning, sir.
Yes. How are we tonight?
We are kind of drained, but, nothing out of the ordinary. I'm okay. Are you playing, oh boy. Oh boy. Bring out your dead. Bring out your dead. Holy
well.
Been listening, James?
Oh yeah, I'm listening.
I mean, before.
Oh yeah.
So I saw you screaming at me all week.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you understand my point.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Whether it makes sense or not, there was a point there. Why are you
I
playing?
don't know if I.
Go ahead.
Oh, just the death of a show.
Ah, yes, yes. Well, try harder. Maybe you'll work it out.
Oh, I meant your show.
Oh,
this
I'm not-
is like, ooh, this is brutal tonight.
Well, you know what, James? Sometimes you got to take the good with the bad. But you know what the good thing is, James?
What's that?
I ain't quitting. It's been a rough
Right.
week. It's been a rough week.
I heard the phone calls.
No. There's personal stuff. Are you listening to jazz, or what are you doing? Is that Blind Melon Jelly?
Chopin.
Oh. And are you trying to get your chi?
It's my chill music tonight.
Is it really?
Yes.
Yes. I'm telling you, I kind of been... The chill music's the only thing that keeps me just floating along. You at work?
All right.
You at work tonight?
Of course.
Oh, I don't know. You've been off, Pat. You've called me a few times. You weren't working. Listen, so here's the deal. When I get on this show every Sunday night, sometimes I come on this show going, wow, I'm all jacked up and I'm ready to go. And then, people, the world has different things going on in their lives. And you just, the one thing about it is one thing I can count on, I can't count on anything. How's that?
Sure.
So I just go. It's 1 hour, and when people start deciding to call, they will, and when they don't, they don't. And you know what? We hang up, and then next Sunday is next Sunday. Nobody.
That's one of the reasons I don't call right away is because I want to give other people a chance to
Yes, well, it's like
talk. And
it's my fault, kind of, because I usually line things up because people will be talking to me during the week, and I said, okay, let's line things up. Like next week, supposedly, I got some people that they go, I can't make it this week. I go, no problem. But this week I did not fish around to ensure that the people that were gonna call me, because I've been so overwhelmed, and it's pretty much my fault because again, life keeps moving, people forget, and that's the way it goes. But when I got up, these past 2 days, I've been fighting the good fight, but I just said, you know what, I'm walking in, I'm doing this, and whatever happens. Somebody's bound to call. Well, not always.
well, I have like those games I've played with you in the past.
Yeah.
Those have been very off the cuff.
Yeah.
And so let me suggest this to you.
Okay.
Do similar things. I mean, I think everybody who's watching your show has the ability to communicate with you via text or via Facebook. Is that correct?
And they do, and that's the problem. That's what they do. That's what they do.
So work with the medium if you can. And then
it's
the other thing I'll suggest to you is, I have a variety of topics off the top of my head at any given time. I have one tonight, in fact, that we'll get to in a moment. Because you, as a father of a daughter, can speak to this one. So, but yeah, just let's take up from your fellow listeners out there. Let's send in your topic ideas.
James, I beg these people. Sometimes, you came on kind of mid. You weren't around at the beginning, and I got my voice of reason said you need to have topics, this and that. I put the topics out there. Nobody calls, so I just said, you know what? Just freaking call. I don't give a shit what you want to talk about. I'll talk about it. I'm all about the topics. But the thing is, if you can't get people to call to talk about whatever is bugging them, what good is a topic?
Well, if the topic's right in line with what's going on, that's why I want them to suggest them.
Well, I've asked. I mean, maybe you've not caught those, but once in a while you get tired of asking.
Yeah, as long as we're not talking about, Trump.
I told you I'm not going there.
Or religion. Yeah,
that's it. To my 2 1s right there. Don't need them. There's too much rest of the world than to have to talk about that.
It's low hanging fruit. We can do better.
Yeah. So but yeah, it is, but I just, you come to a point, and sometimes again, it's not all about that. It's the way the planets line up. Who's actually up and watching? Sometimes I get more people on the replays, on the rebroadcast, than I do on the actual show, because they'll say, and they sit there and they text, go, Peter, love you, but had to get up at 5 a.m. And I get it. It's like, when is the right time to do my show? I pick this time, sticking to it, at least for now, because it takes so long just to keep people steady. to know. And I'm not going to change course. I just can't keep. You can't be going, well, this isn't working. Let's try that. I haven't even given it time. We're on show number 33, and to me, infancy. There's nothing there. I mean, haven't even broke ground yet in my asinine, ideas of using Facebook as a platform. But I believe in it.
So, can you see who's looking right now?
No.
Okay.
That's the problem because of the watch party. I mean, I can see a couple of people, but if it says there's 4 people watching, it's not true. Like one certain page, like right now, the main page, not the main page, but one page says 6 people watching. But the problem is my sponsor's got a watch party going on. 3-4 other people have a watch party going on, and he would sit there and send me screenshots of his phone of like 400 people watching from his watch party. And you know what I mean? Because he's got a bigger fan base than I do. So, unfortunately, numbers-wise, you can't keep track. It's that insane. But I don't even care about that anymore. It's like, to me, if it's going to happen, it will eventually all come together and happen.
All right. Well, with the time we have left,
which is 4 minutes.
Okay, so here we go. I'm at Target the other day. I'm heading down the escalator with my bag of goodies, and in front of me has got to be a girl that's maybe 7, maybe 8 years old. And she's wearing those tight little pink leggings. They look kind of like bike shorts. You know what I'm talking about?
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, and she's got a little badunkadunk going.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, what are the parents thinking?
Maybe they don't know.
I mean, these legging pants that girls wear in the gym, they wear them everywhere they go.
Sure.
And that's fine. They're over 18. They can do that. But what about the girls below that age that are still living at home? Your daughter, for instance.
I get it.
Would you let her wear that crap?
Probably not. I mean, look, I'm freaking out. Look, and I was back when pants had holes in them. I could never wear out my jeans to make holes in them. And I remember my ex well, she wasn't my ex. I was dating her way back in the day. We'd go to Melrose, and I'd spend like $50 on used Levi's that had like holes in the knees because I never could have holes in it. And she like laughed at me, because I couldn't get. And now people are spending all these ungodly amounts of money for there's hardly any front of the pants. So she's bought some of these pants. And I'm going, look, I totally get it, but there's hardly anything there. I mean, can't you like have it a little more tastefully, like a rip there or a rip here, instead of it's like almost from the upper a hamstring all the way down to the damn ankle. So I'm weird that way. I mean, she doesn't look slutty or nothing like that. I'm just going, you need a little more pants.
Right, and there's a trust issue there. And I was talking to a father today of a couple of daughters, and he says it's a delicate balance. You got to balance it, but it's like. What? And I said, if it hits my radar, it's a problem.
Everything freaking hits your radar, James.
Well,
you're
on
like a
arena.
Yeah, you are. You got that damn thing, and you're tuned into like your frequencies are like it's broadband.
Yeah, but if I'm noticing a girl's pants, are too tight and they're too revealing. That's a problem.
Dude, I look, I was at a traffic light today, and I'm seeing this dude cross the street with this girl. Now, the girl was dressed very normal. The dude was tatted up to his neck, some skinny young guy, and he had, nickel-sized holes in his ears. And his pants, he had black underwear on, and his pants, I swear to God, they were halfway, mid-hamstring, and I'm going, how the fuck do you even walk in those things? The belt, and you could tell he's kind of wiggling to try to keep them up. And I just wanted to say, dude, I don't get it. It's like, how can that be comfortable to walk in? Besides the fact you're walking around in your underwear. I said, someday you're going to be 40 or 50 if you live that long, and you're going to go, God, what the fuck was I thinking? And I'm swearing now. Sorry.
Yeah.
I just get, it blows my mind. It's like, what style when is that shit going to go away? I pray for that to go away. Off the subject with the girls thing, but the same thing. It's like, when is stupid, acceptable?
Yeah. And, the same thing with the low riding pants.
Well,
That's still a thing, yeah. But anyways,
yeah.
It's that time.
It's that time.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Peter G Show, brought to you by Bolt Energy. Electrify your senses.
Wow, you've been practicing.
No, not really. It's just what I do.
Yeah, just get it's repetitive. The more you do it, the more better you get.
By the way, I was advised that I should start my own podcast.
Yeah, sure. I thought about the same thing. I'm going, why, anybody can. But, you'll really start to find out what it takes. It's just you put together things in your mind, and things are forever changing, and you have good days, and what you think might work, it might not be hitting it where you think, and then what do? You start changing your mind again. It's like, to me, I go with my gut, and I'm not, and I just got through telling today that I will not change except to better for like bigger production and things like that. But who I am is what I'm going to do. I refuse to start writing songs to sound like somebody else. In other words, it's like, whatever it is going to be, I can only enhance me. And if people want to call in, they call in. If they don't want to call in, I'll just talk. And it ain't easy talking for an hour.
Maybe you should call them.
I can. And I've thought about that too. But tonight was just one of those nights. And again, I'm going to, I need more divine intervention. But tonight was one of those nights I said, I'm coming in, and, I don't want to say I don't give a shit, because I always give a shit, but I was going to let the cards fall where they may. Usually I'll do a little more prep, and I just couldn't. I was just too overloaded with some things going on, and I just had to take it as it comes. I said, you know what, somebody will float me along. I go, and if they don't, I always manage to find something. And if you want to turn it off, you can turn it off, and if you want to watch, you can watch. And you can't please everybody, and every night cannot be spectacular. I'd love it to be, but when I got 100 people working for me, and I can walk in and just float and be me, that'd be great. But I'm the man of many trades right now to keep this going, because it's all about money. But I do believe, and nobody's watching anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's only me and a few of my closest friends.
That are too chicken shit to call in.
I got chill music. And then, somebody looked at me and they said, what makes you think you can actually do what you think you want to do? I said, I looked at them and go, I got a theme song. Like, what do you mean? I got a friggin' theme song. Get out. Back away. I'm not scared, James, I've fucked up bigger gigs than this.
Okay. Well, for next week, I'll try and have a new game for you.
Yeah, and I appreciate you letting me see who wants to call in. I really do, because I want it to be to the point where it's like, what we started, as, and I can't get to enough phone calls. That's really what I want to get to, so I can then expand somehow because of, need and supply and demand. But, until they start doing it, again, it's highly acclaimed. My show is for lurkers. These are people who will watch, but they will not say nothing. And the only way I can get more people to say something is to get more people. That way I can increase the odds. You get more people, and the odds will be that somebody will come out, whether they're half-cocked or, whatever, and say, hey, I want to talk to you. But got to take the good with the bad. I'm not scared.
Right.
It is what it is, but I hope you understand that sometimes it's a lot easier looking from the sideline, but sit in the seat, and again, things don't always go as planned. But the thing with me is I'm going, and I'm not stopping, good or bad. Maybe I'm an idiot. Don't answer that.
What will stop your show?
Yes. What will stop my show?
Yes.
That piano playing. The only thing that'll stop this show is me starting another show. In my mind, I really wanted to go and do at least a dozen of the actual Peter G shows, the greatest divorce and single parenting, do one-on-one interviews with multi-camera, and then do editing and not be live. But even that this year, it's just been too complicated of a year. I'll get back to that, though. It's important to me. Anyway, all right, we got to wrap it up because the clock watcher is watching.
Who's the clock watcher?
Father Time.
All right.
Yes. Time waits for no one, my friend. And life is short. And I gotta go, unfortunately. Because I gotta go get back to things. It was like getting a hall pass just to come in tonight. You can sit there and listen to Chopin in the dark. Sit there in a chair.
We've moved on to Beethoven now.
Oh, have you? Whatever. You could just sit there and throw a glass into the fireplace, and then you
know
can.
what this music is good for?
Then you could stand up and yell at everybody. What are you looking at? Stop staring at me. You think you know me. You don't know me. I got chill music, James. I can out chill music you. All right, look.
This isn't chill music. This is music to kill by.
I know. I can't handle it. It's too deep.
Put the lotion on.
It's too deep. It makes me want to cry. I immediately start weeping.
I'm surprised you can hear it.
Well, I can hear it. I mean, right when I'm telling everybody that they should be starting a watch party. All right, look, we're going to wrap it up. I got to go because it's that time.
Yep, I need to get back to work.
That's right. Do a good job.
I do.
All right, take what I say with a grain of salt, but you got to believe me that again. I was thinking the same thing. It's like you seem like you really want to do something, but until you start doing it, and even then, it's like it's a process. There's no friggin' guarantee about even your own thoughts. And podcasts, let me tell you, podcasts so much simpler. All this stuff has got to go onto a podcast soon because podcasts are great, but then you start throwing live video into the whole deal, and it makes the game a lot tougher. Podcast, man, I could breeze through a podcast for some reason. You're just taking away one of the hardest aspects, which is visual.
And podcasts, let me tell you, podcasts.
Oh, that's very good. That's great. That's now we're on delay. Now we're on delay. Yeah.
Good stuff.
That's right. Smoke some more. Hey.
That's right. Smoke them if you got them.
Go home tonight and with your Black Widow.
Yeah, I haven't seen her.
She's
probably in my bedroom.
Probably waiting for you.
That's right.
All right. Well, listen. Have a good week. And
all right, ladies and gentlemen, you don't have to stay here, but you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
There you go. Up, see?
The Peter G. Show, brought to you by Bolt Energy. Energize your senses. Good night.
Electrify your senses. Son of a bitch. See you later.
Did I fuck it up again?
Yeah, you did, but that's all right. You'll get it one day.
All right.
See you later.
All right, bye.
Bye. All right, folks. James from Culver City. James from Culver City giving me a pity call. How's that, folks? See what I mean? He's sitting there listening going, Peter, you're tanking tonight. It's like, I'm not tanking. I'll always sit there and talk about stuff. But, he's listened so much that it's like being a junkie. You need more. It's like he's looking for, he's looking for some stimulation. Not just me. I'm old hat. Every Sunday night, Life with Peter G. And again, when you're watching this stuff rebroadcasted, please, 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 you can start a watch party anytime you pick and find the show. You can watch party the shit out of stuff. Because if you give a damn about anything I'm doing, that's what you'll do for me. That's what I'm asking of you. Because I want it to go to people that don't even know I exist. Because one way, shape, or form, somebody probably needs to talk about this stuff. And we're probably hitting the nail on the head for some subject that somebody just needs to know and hear about. And they're going, wow, I thought it was just me. But that's it. I love all you guys, regardless of what lurkers you are and silent majorities and won't call me. And, it is what it is. And sometimes, I just want to go, what the hell, man? I don't get it. But I do get it. I do get it. So all I can tell you is better luck next time. I have no qualms with the show. I think some part of whatever I talked about tonight probably made sense to somebody. Did to me. But I'm partial. See you guys next Sunday. I am not calling AT&T anymore for a while until I get another bill, which will probably take 3 weeks to a month, so that they can tell me that I still owe them money. But for those of you who did check out those shows, and pass those on too, because the world needs to hear what a bunch of pain in the asses they are. They think they can just do whatever they want because they're so huge. And they are doing pretty much what they want. But I wasn't taking it, and I just wanted to share it because people need to know. It's not just them. They're doing it to everybody, and it sucks. All right? Okay, what else am I doing? That's it. Tomorrow's another day. We'll see you next Sunday night and through the repeats and rebroadcasts and all through the week. You got anything you want to say to me, you can always text it to me or instant message me. Ideas. Shut the hell up, Peter. I got a better idea, like James says. You want to talk about topics? Suggest a topic. But every topic I suggest, nobody calls anyway. So I'm saying whatever you want to talk about. It'll get to the point one day. It will. But right now, it's just getting you guys out of your shell. And you're in a hell of a shell. It's a good one. All right? Love you more than anything. Check you out next Sunday, all right? Peace out. Peter G. Show.
Peter G. Show. Peter G. Show. Peter G. Show. Peter G. Show. Divorced dad, single dad. Divorced dad, single dad. Peter G. Show.